How do you look back at your season as a whole? He's a forward. He scored 8 goals last year. Probably not as much as he probably was hoping, but a decent loan spell, it sounds like.
Yeah, treat the 8 goals with a bit of caution, I think, Ipswich Town fans, because I think a few people look at that and go, has he struggled? Has he done this? Has he done that? But what Liam had, which I haven't seen from a Hull City striker for years, if not ever. I've been lucky enough to go and watch Hull City for 24 years. You'll think it's unlucky, but, what Liam Delap has, which sets him apart from a lot of strikers, is he has the ability to be quick, play on the shoulder, but be incredibly strong as well. Now, and I mean this genuinely, the only player that sort of carries the same characteristic in style of play is Erling Haaland. Now, I'm not for a minute saying that Delap is the same ability as Erling Haaland, but he carries some of the same traits. From watching him all the way through last season, he was such a bully for centre-backs and full-backs. He would just... I'm intrigued to know how many duels along the ground he actually was able to win. He was so good at being able to pick the right moment to go on a run. And if Hull City did play the ball long and over the top, he'd always get onto it, whether it was wide or he was putting a defender sometimes on the backside, shrugging him off and then having a shot at goal. 8 goals, yeah. It would have been more. It would most certainly would have been more if he hadn't have been injured. Certainly would have been looking at, for me, around the 15-goal mark, maybe between 15 and 20. Partly because Aaron Connolly got injured as well in the second half of the season, which is why we didn't go with a traditional number 9. But if Ipswich Town fans want a traditional number 9, you're getting one in Liam Delap. But it seems that he's got a bit of a turbocharger about him as well. He plays everything at 100 miles an hour. He hits everything at 100 miles an hour. There's not a lot of, you wouldn't want him cleaning your house because I think he'd break all the furniture. I think he'd be he's like a bull in a china shop. He'll rampage around and just make sure that anyone is nowhere near him so that he can get those legs pumping and have a run into the penalty area and try and score a goal. He is a very, very exciting striker. I was really impressed with him last season.
What's the things you think he needs to work on? It seems like an overall good deal for Town. They're getting a player who is young, a little bit still raw there. This will be his first Premier League experience. I think he made a few appearances for Man City, but obviously he's gone out on loan the last few years. But sounds like a good deal overall.
Possibly a little bit of finesse, maybe. We like to hit things through the lace rather than with the side foot most of the time. I think really in terms of ability, he's got the ability and he's got the characteristics to... it's almost like a free roll of dice for him this season, I think, if he's got someone with a bit of experience like you keep alongside him. The big question is, how severe was his knee injury that he had at Hull City this year? Because it kept him out for ages. I think if he'd been fit, Hull City would have gone into the top 6 and we might not even be having this conversation because, we could have been playing in the Premier League together or we both could have still been in the Championship. We just don't know. But yeah, that's the big question mark, I think. I'd be really disappointed from a neutral point of view, just because I think Liam is a top lad, and I wish him all the best, because if he got injured in August, and if it happens, I'll hold my hands up now. I'm the one who cursed him. That would be a really big disappointment for him, because that would create then, he's had 2 long big injuries at the start of his career, almost like the Michael Owen effect, where his body just broke down and couldn't keep up with him. Hopefully he doesn't have a reoccurrence of his knee injury. If he stays fit and can play in the same way as he did in the Championship, you've got a good player.